A very good morning and welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual I'm going to be your host for today. Now, I still have a problem. I've been trying to take some concussions here to make my voice, my throat okay, but I don't know the problem. It has been long. I've been having this problem for a very long time. I don't know the problem. I don't know where the problem is, but hopefully everything will be okay. In this video, I've got two things to talk about, and let me start by saying this. That I've been listening to Ndindi Nyoro since yesterday. If you realize I've not done that video, I've been trying to listen to Ndindi Nyoro since after he had talked, after his interview yesterday, the way he was speaking, what he was saying and all that. And I've come to my conclusion is this, that as a nation, or as a country, or let me just say that the government have lost a very brilliant guy. Like even if you listen to the way Ndindi Nyoro is speaking, you realize that this guy is very brilliant, and he has got what he does, like the work that he's doing it from the heart. He's not doing it for the sake of doing it. He's doing it because that is what he knows that he's supposed to do. I've listened to him, different videos, people have been talking about him, but now for me, I've come to realize that there is a point here that a lot of people are missing. That Ndindi Nyoro is a very smart guy. Like, listening to him makes you feel like we still have got young emerging leaders who have got Kenyans' problems in their hearts. Now, I want you to watch listen to some of the conversations, or some of the things, the way he was answering questions. He was asked about the issue of chapatis by Stephen Leto, and then he said that he's doing his master degrees. He's doing his two masters, one in Nairobi University and one in KU. And he's saying that any moment he attends the classes, he doesn't go there like an MP. He goes there as a student. And he's done with his classwork, so he's done with his book work, so right now he's doing the projects. I want you to listen to this, and then I come back so that I can talk about the second video. Watch this.
Given the chance I was serving in as the chairman of budget committee, I decided to also go back to school. I actually started pursuing two master's degrees together. One in KU, Master of Economics in Public Policy, and the other one in the University of Nairobi, that is Masters of Arts in Economics. And I've been pursuing those from 2023. Attending class physically, where I needed to attend physically, and those who offer online, also attending class online, and by the way, as a student, not as an MP. And I decided to do that because I also wanted to deepen my knowledge in the economic platform. And the more the reason, I made it my duty to listen in terms of attendance, and also to participate in any other participatory issues that I needed to do as a student. And gratefully, I am actually done with coursework. I am now doing the projects, both of them together. And by the grace of God, I may graduate this year. I am not talking about myself when I talk about going back to school. It is basically because the motivation of pursuing those two actually came out of quest to know better, so that the decision I continued to make are optimal, objective, and especially based on things that then would make our country move forward, especially given the pivotal position which the last discussion I had with the president of the country, the last political discussion, either a chat or a discussion as it were, was before October of last year. And I would not want, and you permit me to do that, not to discuss any further about any leader, because as you're all aware, I stopped serving in my position. It's barely a week. I also need to understand many things before I talk, because I believe as a leader, I mean, I lead people. There are people who look up to us as leaders, and therefore even when you see that I am not answering some questions, it's not because I can't answer them. I believe you have covered me previously, and you know for sure that respectively, in this world I only fear God. So whatever I need to say, I have no reservation of saying. But also, we are given wisdom to say when to say, how to say it. And I believe we are here in Kenya. We'll keep interacting. If there is more to be said. You've asked me a very difficult question on why I was repressed. I also don't know. And I am saying it in good faith. I didn't come here to accuse anyone today, or I only came to set the record straight. No one in the leadership of our coalition, from whichever position, has ever called me in regards to the position, in regards to what I need to do better, in regards to what I need to change, in regards to things that needed to be done in a different manner. It's very good for me to put it into record, because as I said, I was holding this position knowing that I was serving Kenyans, so I am also answerable. And in sincerity say, there is no one who has ever called me, decision makers of our coalition, to say anything around this. I read in newspapers about myself the same way you do. And in terms of this position, that's what I mean. And that's the truth. Moses of Star. You know, Moses is a political journalist. I know him. So he's asking me that I need to say something around politics. Moses, I have your number and you have mine. And I want to assure you that when I need to talk politics, I'll call you. And I'm saying it respectfully. I only think that even this is also very important. And situko tu hapa Kenya. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, and Moses is still around. I know your job is not threatened in any way, so you are still in Star. So I'll be glad to also talk about that at the fullness of time. The other thing about Miriam, Millicent. Millicent KBC. There are many things she asked about. Yes, I talked about one thing we did. What about the many others that are challenges that remains to be done? Of course, there are many. There are many things that we are work in progress for us as a country. And referencing to the position I was serving, the issue of public debt is a major challenge. The issue of stored projects is a major challenge. So there are many things that are a work in progress. There are other very important things like confirmation of other people who work for government, like the UHC staff. We had allocated some money before, but there is still some work to be done in terms of more allocation. And so that even those brothers and sisters can also have a chance to be compensated for the service they offer our country. And the other one, you've talked about public participation. I agree. Kenya is a robust country in terms of hearing your voice, but there is also work to be done in terms of incorporating all citizens, and especially in allocation of resources. There are things that I don't know whether there is a need to it. One of those things is public participation, because it's a continuous process which has to keep on improving, which has to keep on done better, because there is no perfection to it, but we can always polish it and do better about it. we can take another route. Let's go.
Let me start. If you continued serving as the chair for budget, my name is Stephen Leto, Citizen TV. If you continued serving as the budget chair, will you allocate in the 2025-2026 financial year 72 billion shillings for chapati?
My second video is about Margaret Nduta. You know, people thought that, okay, people knew that Margaret Nduta was supposed to be hanged 2 days ago, but that is not the case. Uhuru Kenyatta called, you know, I think they talked when William Ruto was saying that Kenya have got no embassy in Vietnam, so there's no way he can help Nduta. All that. There is, you know, every day, this story of Nduta turns. Like yesterday, Sonko was included. Like Sonko is the one that he was the owner of the drugs. At some point, they also included alias and Joho, saying that Joho knows what has been happening. And there is something that at night, there is something that came out. That so it's not the first time that Nduta is being jailed, but now this one is the court decided that she's going to be killed. She's going to be hanged. She has been serving, or she served in Ghana. She was arrested in Ghana with the issue of drug trafficking and was jailed 4 years. I don't know why this one was not known, because this one has really brought a lot of impact, and a lot of people have been questioning that why is it that we did not know about this? Why is it that we are knowing it right now? What happened? Why were they silent about it? There is something that I want us to understand. That you know, you can be thinking that things that you're doing in darkness are only known by you and maybe the few people that surround your circle, until you do something, one thing that blows everything up. So maybe I've listened even to her sister saying that Nduta have not gone out of the country. So it's in 2020, 2023 is the last time she went out. So it's like she's trying to say that Nduta has been in the country all along. Are you seeing now? Even the defense itself, the sister is saying that Nduta have never gone outside the country. And we all know very well that this is the third time that Nduta is going out of the country and going there to. I told you that the first time that Nduta went out, she went out, came back, took her siblings to school, then went out, came back, started building the house for the mother or the family house. So the third time that maybe she was going out, she thought that maybe going out, when she'll be coming back, she'll be accomplishing the house, or she'll be completing the house. Now things turned out not to be the way she planned. So we don't know what has been happening in between. We don't know what happened in between here. So we can't defend Nduta that she was never jailed in Ghana. And again, we can't say that she was jailed in Ghana. Are you seeing?
Nduta'S case seems to have everyone talking, and the silence from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs both in Nairobi and Hanoi is making the situation more tense as Kenyans wait to hear if her execution was stayed or not. It seems to be a case with many twists and turns. In the latest developments, it turns out that Nduta could have been imprisoned in Ghana for the same crime a couple of years back. Meet Father John Witherspoon. He has dedicated his life to minister to prisoners. He has lived in Hong Kong since 1985, and during one of his prison rounds, he found a woman who claims to know Nduta.
Today, in one of the women's prisons in Hong Kong, I met a Kenyan woman, and when I asked her to pray for Nduta, she said she knew her. And she said the two of them were arrested in Ghana about 4 or 5 years ago. Nduta had to serve about 4 years.
This woman, who we will not name, apparently wrote an unsigned letter saying she was in prison with Nduta in Ghana after working for a Nigerian cartel. The woman added that once the cartel has you in its clutches, there is no escape, lest you lose your life or that of your family member. In the letter, she says Nduta is innocent and she was being forced to transport the drugs. She's no criminal.
This lady says that the Nigerians are very dangerous. They actually killed, or they had a friend of hers killed in Kenya some years ago. And when she came out from prison in Ghana, the first person to call her was one of the Nigerians and ordering her, threatening her to do another job. And this woman, she ran away. She ran away from the Nigerians, but they found her and they kidnapped her son. And then they threatened to hurt the family, so she eventually was forced to come to Hong Kong. But as soon as she got to Hong Kong airport, she handed herself in. She told them, I've been forced to bring drugs here, because the whole thing was coercion.
This is not the first time Father Witherspoon is handling a death row case. Last year, he managed to help free a woman by the name Faith Omolo, a mule who was arrested for drug trafficking and was facing execution in Malaysia. However, when we asked Nduta'S twin sister Rosemary about the possibility of her having served time in Ghana for drug trafficking, Rosemary's response pricks the conscience.
Tangu hajaitoka Kenya, alitoka 2023. Hajawahi toka tena. Unasikia?
Nimesikia.
Mwambie atafute mtu mwingine, lakini sio sistangu. Na ama hiyo government inasema hivyo, niambiwe hivyo tu. Kwa nini mnaendelea kuniumiza roho shwali?
Rosemary says all these are rumors. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is yet to respond to the new developments. Nduta was arrested in Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City in 2023, and she was convicted of drug trafficking on March 6, 2025. She maintains that she was not aware that 2 kilograms of cocaine were in her possession.
And of course, there must be different reactions from Kenyans, from people. People have been reacting on the same case. And here is what some of them are saying. There is someone that is saying that, what do you expect from a country that elects thieves, murderers, rapists, and drug lords as leaders? The other day, they ganged up to support Salasia smoking weed on social media. Kenya is ruled by moral decay. Another person is saying that Kenya is the only country in the world that protects drug dealers, murderers, thieves, rapists, etc. in the name of mtu wetu, one of our own. And the last person here is saying that maybe it's time we do away with the law against drugs. If citizens of a country aren't wise enough to make the right choices about drugs they'll use, can they be wise enough to vote for a government which will rule well? Drugs should be illegal to minors only. So that person is making the decision. Someone is saying that the woman is a hardened drug trafficker. It's ironical that they're demanding accountability from the government, but sides with the Kenyans though. Someone is saying that characteristics of a drug peddler: number 1, brutal as hell. Number 2, kill any obstacles or evidence. Number 3, no mercy. And the last one, do anything as long as the package reaches its destiny. No, so that's why I've told you that this Nduta'S case is very difficult, because we don't know what has been happening in between here. Are you seeing? Now that we don't know what has been happening, because Nduta is 37 years. And for someone to decide to do drug trafficking, it means that that person knew what he or she was getting involved in. And in fact, he had known all the repercussions. So sometimes trying to defend these guys, you find it very difficult. After all, guys, that is all I have for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Until we meet again, I have been your host, Boniface Owino. Bye-bye.